All right, so this House of the Rising Sun, huh? You're clearly onto something because this isn't just some little ditty,
Right.
it's practically a whole Southern Gothic novel
Yeah.
crammed into 3 verses.
It really is. And what gets me is how the songwriters use this image, this almost mythical rising sun, to dig into these big ideas about the choices we make and the consequences that follow. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because it's not just about a place, right? This rising sun. It's more like a symbol, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
it represents something.
Exactly. And the fact that it's all set against the backdrop of New Orleans, a city with its own kind of dark and storied past, it adds this whole other layer to it. Let's be honest, when you think of New Orleans, you don't exactly think sunshine and roses, do you?
No, definitely not. More like, what was that line? Been the ruin of many a poor boy.
Right. And that's what I mean, that sense of impending doom, that feeling that something's not quite right in this house. It's there right from the very first line.
Yeah, it's definitely not your average Airbnb.
Definitely not. And when you think about the history of New Orleans, the gambling, the red light districts, all of that, it really brings those lyrics to life, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. It's like you can practically smell the
Yeah.
well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, the song doesn't just tell us about this house. It shows us exactly how people end up there,
Yeah.
right? Like with the narrator's own father, that whole gambling
Worried,
thing.
that classic struggle, huh?
It is. You have the mother, the hardworking tailor. She makes in these new blue jeans, like this symbol of honest living.
Exactly. And then there's the father, always chasing that big win with his suitcase and a trunk. Powerful imagery, right?
So powerful and so universal, too. Like that whole idea of getting caught between security and risk. I mean, I think we've all felt that pull at some point.
And the way the songwriters describe it, the cards shuffling, that desperation, man, you could just feel it. It's no wonder the narrator gets sucked in.
It's tragic, especially when you get to that line, "Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done." Like, it just breaks your heart because he's already so deep in it, so trapped in this cycle.
He knows, doesn't he?
It's like he's begging anyone who'll listen to avoid his fate.
And that's where it gets really interesting, I think, because it makes you think about legacy, about how much of our lives are shaped by the choices of those who came before us, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, you can't escape it, can you?
It's that question, fate versus free will. And song doesn't give us any easy answers, but it definitely makes you think.
No, it really doesn't. And it's amazing how they do that, how they build all that tension, even without, a single musical note.
The lyrics do all the work.
Exactly. Every verse just pulls you deeper into this world. All that regret, those warnings. It's like you can practically feel the walls of that rising sun closing in. It's amazing, actually.
So in the end, what do we have? It's like we're not just talking about a song here, right? It's a whole Southern Gothic story. Family secrets, moral dilemmas, and enough New Orleans atmosphere to fill a
A whole city.
Exactly.
And
right.
that's the power of art, isn't it? It can
Yeah.
take these huge themes, these really complicated ideas about life, and make us feel them, make us think about them all within the space of, what, 3 minutes?
It's incredible. And
Yeah.
you know what? Now you've got me thinking. The song ends with the narrator hopping on that train, right?
Yeah.
Leaving to start this new life. But do you ever wonder if he actually made it? Like, did he actually break free? Or was that train ride just another turn in the same old cycle?
Ooh, I like that.
That's something to think about, right? Anyway, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.